Thank you for being here tonight. I have to tell you, I was looking at the rain when we were coming up, and I'm looking this afternoon, and it's raining, and it's pouring, and it's raining, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, nobody's going to show up tonight. They're going to want to stay warm, cozy, under the covers in their bedrooms, and I cannot tell you how grateful I am for you taking the time to be here tonight. I know a lot of people are still stuck on the road, believe it or not. This rain outside is horrific, but I am so grateful for you taking the time to come here and be here with me tonight. You know, people always ask me, Brigitte, don't you get depressed talking about such heavy-duty subjects? Radical Islamic terrorism, lawlessness, immigration, national security. And I said, of course I do. I'm a human just like you. But what keeps me so energized and so excited is when I travel across our amazing, exceptional, unbelievable country of ours. And I meet wonderful people like you. Who clap at our wonderful, exceptional, great country of ours. When I met people like you who take the time out of their busy schedule, I mean, after all, you could have been watching Dancing with the Stars tonight, but you chose to be with me, and you are truly the wind under beneath my wings, and I'm so grateful for you. You keep me excited. And as you can tell, I don't like podiums. I'm absolutely convinced a 6-foot-tall man came up with a podium. So when you are my height and you are this tall, you don't want to stand behind the podium. I love being close to you. I love being here. I love traveling the country and speaking. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about what I do. And I'm so passionate even more right now is about what's happening in our country. America is being transformed before our very eyes. The flag that once flew on every street corner in the United States is now considered a hate symbol on college campuses. Patriotism is seen as hateful. Our freedom of speech is being eliminated by the tyranny of tolerance. Our children are being indoctrinated in our classrooms. Our police officers are being killed by thugs and criminals, and the mainstream media is victimizing their killers. Everything is turned upside down. And I'm sure if you are an America-loving person who remembers what we used to be as a nation just 30 years ago, you are watching the news and you're shaking your head in amazement and you're thinking, how did we get to this point? When I was watching the news last night, and I'm sure you've heard it already, what's happening in Minnesota with them wanting to remove the Pledge of Allegiance. Actually, they voted against it to drop it. Thankfully, for great patriots like you in Minnesota who showed up and said, hell no, not under my watch, not as long as I'm alive, I will not be silenced. And this is exactly the type of attitude we need to get, the type of presence we need to have, the type of authority we need to speak with, because if we do not speak now, we're going to lose our country as we know it. We are losing it before our very eyes. And I want you to know that we are the generation now who remembers the greatness of America, who remembers 30 years ago when athletes used to stand up and cry at the singing of our national anthem. Today they are kneeling in protest. And so the young generation who has been so indoctrinated in our public schools, who do not remember the greatness of America, it is our job to remind them of what an exceptional nation we live in, and where their freedom comes from, and the cost that was paid to give them that freedom, and what we need to do as people to make sure we preserve our nation the way it was founded by our founding fathers, so we can pass it to the next generation. Are you here with me on this? Am I interfering with that? Do you want me to stand here? Okay, I'm trying to be a good girl. I follow orders very well. believe it or not. You know, despite my 6'7" personality, you know, I do follow orders. You know, I tell people, you know, I used to be 6 foot tall, you know, but I shrunk after speaking, so don't let my voice, you know, don't let my size fool you. I still have that big presence. No, what I'm going to share with you tonight, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my background and why I'm so passionate about national security and protecting our country and preserving our national identity. I'm going to talk to you about immigration and why we need to secure our border and the process of what I went through to become an immigrant. I'm going to talk to you about the Muslim Brotherhood Project to undermine the country, and we are seeing that play before our very eyes right now with the election of Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar in Congress. And by the way, only 2 were elected, only 2 you know of. In this last election in November, 50 Muslim elected officials were elected to on different levels of government. Now, we have no problem whatsoever with the religion of anybody running for any office in the country, as long as they put America first, as the great and believe that it's the greatest nation on the face of the planet. Faith has nothing to do with it. Color has nothing to do with it. Background has nothing to do with it. What we are talking about is loyalty to the United States. Because if you do not have loyal members who put America first, we are in trouble. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. So why I'm so passionate about this issue and about loyalty and preserving national identity and protecting your country. Because my life was turned upside down as a child. A lot of you do not know about me, about my background, what made me who I am. A lot of you know me from Fox News because you've seen me on the news, or you watched the clip with me on the internet talking about radical Islamic terrorism or national security. But most people do not know the personal side. So I'm going to share that with you. You see, I was born and raised in Lebanon, which used to be the only majority Christian country in the Middle East. Over 70% Christians. We were open-minded, we were fair, we were tolerant, we were multicultural. We prided ourselves in our multiculturalism. Does this sound familiar so far? We had open borders. People came from all over the Middle East and stayed and worked in our economy. Muslims used to send their children to study in our universities because we had built the best universities in the Middle East. They graduated and worked in our economy because we had built the best economy in the Middle East. Beirut became known as Paris of the Middle East, the banking capital of the Middle East, even though we did not have any oil. But what we did have was open-mindedness, independent thinking, and encouraging the individual to be all they can be and give them an opportunity. And that is in contrast to the sea of dictatorship that we were surrounded with in the Middle East. You see, in the Middle East, there is the Jewish state, which is Israel, and there is Lebanon, which used to be the majority Christian country. And isn't it amazing that only these 2 are a republic, just like the United States of America? In a sea of dictatorship? Because when you look at the Middle East, you can identify every country with one family, one royal family, or a one-man regime. With the exception of the state of Israel and Lebanon. Now that is changing. Thank you very much. Now that is changing. My 9/11 happened to me in 1975 in Lebanon, when radical Islamic terrorists blew up my home, bringing it down, burying me under the rubble wounded.
Croc TV.